Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everybody. Welcome to Real Talk Podcast, the podcast that talks about politics, sometimes education, sometimes social issues. Today, we're going to talk about the biggest problem currently in the Philippines, and that is poverty. Today, I am with beautiful and handsome guests, starting with Faye Salvador, Gwyneth Ramos, and the most handsome guys that you will ever see. Beren, Justin Beren, Norman Reyes, Gal Olinares, and the one and only Lester Vanillas. So guys, how are you? How is your day so far? Before we start yapping about poverty.
Good.
It's a little bit stressful because we have a midterm on DivCalc tomorrow, and I
Oh,
haven't really did my reviews and my studies.
same man, same. I forgot we have examination
It's
tomorrow.
hot,
Oh
bro.
no. Yeah, it's hot in the Philippines. But you know what's more hotter? Poverty, guys. Poverty. Now that we fully acquainted ourselves with one another, let's start with talking about our main topic today. And that is poverty. You guys know that a lot of economic growth have happened recently in the past years. But still a lot of family is in the poverty line. Not everybody have the luxury to get out of poverty because of a lot of factors. Right, Faye?
Yeah, it does seem weird that with all the job opportunities and the amount of workers in our countries, we can't seem to get out of our economic problems.
Exactly, right? How about
Yeah.
you,
So
Gal?
for me, poverty is definitely a difficult and complex topic to tackle. So, because there are multiple factors to it that simultaneously affect each others and make problem worse. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So, how about you, Gwyneth? What's your take on this?
Like one of those factors would definitely be inequality, because across different income levels, across regions, and across industries, there are deep divides. And added to that rapid population growth, and it becomes even harder for families to move
Mm.
forward.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, how about you, Beren?
Yeah, it's really sad to know that poverty isn't really caused just by just one thing. It's like a complex web, like it's all interconnected with one another, which is sad to know about poverty.
Yeah, man. You, Norman, what's your take on this one?
Firstly, low and inconsistent economic growth over decades. So think of an economy like a vehicle. When it runs smoothly, people get to their destination, jobs, food and opportunities. But for the Philippines, the engine has been sputtering. Do you notice that
Exactly.
well, Juanillas? Do you notice that, Juanillas?
Yeah, I just noticed it. That's what I've noticed as well. Growth has been slow and unpredictable. Some years of the economy is great, and other years not so much. And when that happens, most vulnerable people get hit with the hardest.
Speaking of growth, one of the other things is about education. Poverty is caused by is one another cause of it is the lack of access to quality education. It's like when children can go to school or really have to drop out early just to support their families. It limits their opportunities long term. They grow up with a fewer skills, making it harder to find a stable, well-paying jobs. Also one of the cycles in poverty.
Correct. And it's not just school fees, it's everything around it. Transport, uniforms, books, even food. Some kids don't go to school simply because they're hungry.
That's certainly a very interesting take, guys. Thank you so much for all the takes that you have shared so far. But there's another factor to poverty, and that is economic growth without proper guidance. So, how about you, Faye, in this topic? What's your insight about this one?
I mean, definitely. Second, economic growth doesn't effectively reduce poverty per se. Even when the economy does grow, the gains aren't equally shared. It's like um, it's like baking a bigger pie but giving the same slice to the poor. Most of the wealth tends to go to the top, while low income families barely feel any difference at all.
Yes, yes, I
You know
agree with
what?
you.
I agree. Because growth alone doesn't guarantee poverty reduction. Without inclusive politics and safeguards, economic growth can enrich or even worsen the poverty for vulnerable populations. Like in
Exactly.
Manila,
Hmm.
Bando, or Basilan
Also,
compound.
oh sorry. Also, one of the things is like within growth is like thinking about jobs. Jobs is also one of the factor that is not good enough because well yes jobs are being created, many of them are informal, insecure, or low paying. What's worse is a lot of them requires a lot of experiences per se that a lot of people doesn't have access to, like I said earlier, because of education. Like we're talking about street vending, day labor, contract work with no benefits, and people who work long hours like grave shifts but still can't afford the basic necessities.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's not a real progress. It's just a plain survival.
Few things I can think of are poor education, like no free education or even sex education, which cause major repopulation. There's also no government help due to corruption and almost no platforms to help such issues.
And there's also the high market economy prices, like the unlucky who can't afford food due to high prices. Like,
Not to mention, guys, um, other problem that we need to overcome is the over demand on skill, regardless of what you have finished in your current studies, right? We the skill ceiling for jobs in the Philippines is so high. It's like you're applying for a job, but first you need skills, you need experience. So what if
Also, you need a background education like 2 years
yeah,
in college.
Yeah.
Yes, even on jobs that
Makes sense.
isn't really related to that
exactly, right? But not everyone can afford college. That's the problem, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Most students either stop
unfortunately.
in senior high school or like junior high school
Yeah,
because
some don't even reach high school.
yeah, right.
Mm.
Continuing, Faye, about that topic. So
Oh, right. Despite the strong economic performance driven by sectors like for example BPO, real estate, finance, and overseas remittance, that the things that handles money, poverty remains prevalent in Metro Manila, the region that contributes the most to the country's GDP or gross domestic product. And I think one of the main reasons for this persistent poverty is our country's vulnerability to natural disasters. We can't take that out. Even if it's natural, we should still be able to be prepared for it. Due to the Philippines location on the Pacific Ring of Fire, the Philippines experiences frequent and severe natural disasters like typhoons, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and potentially tsunamis. These events disproportionately affect the poor and cause massive economic losses, like 15 billion annually, which unfortunately further weakens poverty reduction efforts.
oh, I think I read an article about that also mentioned other factors like overpopulation. It's common knowledge that NCR is the most densely populated region in the Philippines with 12.8 million people as of 2015. So these overpopulation strains like basic services like housing, healthcare, and transportation, and informal settlements are widespread driven by urban migration and limited access to sex education, resulting in unplanned population growth. And just like what Norman said earlier, corruption undermines public trust and weakens anti-poverty efforts. Political dynasties and mismanagement of public funds divert resources that could be used for infrastructure, education, and job creation. Government agencies have been flagged for misuse of funds through overpricing, ghost suppliers, and efficient allocation.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah,
you with that one, Janet.
unfortunately, corruption is a huge, very huge factor to poverty.
I mean, look at the current election candidates, right, guys?
Yeah,
You
let's
see
let's not.
businessman.
it's really hard
Some,
to trust anyone.
Like
yeah, right.
Yeah.
You will see someone inside the prison running for election candidate. Like, damn, Philippines.
Unfortunately, I
But
mean
then-
it's all around the world right
Yeah,
now.
it's all around the world. It's around the world. It's something that democracy gives.
Yeah.
Which is
Unfortunately.
do.
Yeah, yeah. So let
Maybe
me
in a future episode.
maybe in the future episode.
Yes.
Let me ask you guys a question. What do you all think about the impact of cultural mindset to poverty?
That's a heavy but real one, you know. Things like they call this word bahala na attitude, or how people sometimes wait around for ayuda instead of actively seeking out opportunities. It all adds up.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just the system. We also need to talk about our values, priorities, and how we view our responsibilities.
And financial literacy too. We were never taught how to save, invest, or budget at a young age, starting like, I know, that's why, that's not in our system. Without that, people can't build a stable future, even if they earn enough.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. I
So,
mean,
yes.
sorry.
Well, that's
Uh,
the reason one, because, I know, like, that's why one of the reason many students and many children doesn't go to college because of financial stability, not capable of
absolutely.
going to college.
And
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
also like to add that, you know, poverty is so common these days. We have to actually, s- ano, we have to actually take control and actually help our economy with things that we can control, because the things that we've listed so far are things that are mostly out of control, like corruption, natural disasters, and stuff like that. So we have to um manage what we can, and hopefully make the best out of it.
So if I understand it correctly, guys, strong economy does not mean reduce poverty. Disaster risk is equals to poverty trap. So marginalizing communities are the most vulnerable to environmental shocks. So governance gap, like corruption and rich people getting more rich.
Yes.
So a need for a systematic reform. So and what else? Urban congestion. Yeah. So that's
Yes.
what I understand for the answers that you have given me.
Yeah, strong economy does not usually mean reduced poverty. NCR shows that, well, economic growth does not automatically lift all sectors of society. NCR is where
Mhm.
mostly all of the workers are, and yet, just look around.
Because the thing is, guys, the reason why the economic growth doesn't seem to kick in, it's because no one is guiding it properly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The Philippines is a resource-rich country with a young, educated population and vast natural wealth. Yet over 60 million Filipinos live in poverty and 10 million are extremely poor. The author argues that poverty is not only a systematic issue, but also a deeply rooted in individual and cultural behaviors. While external factors like governance and economic conditions play a role, many of the causes are seen as self-inflicted, stemming from poor personal decisions, cultural habits, and lack of responsibilities.
Mhm.
Mm.
So that's wraps up our conversation for today, guys. So I hope that you have learned something. We have
Mm.
tackled
Yeah.
about economic system, personal choices, and what else? Inequality and
Yes,
the reason
corruption.
corruptions, reason for poverties.
Yes.
And remember, guys.
Inflations.
Yes, that too.
Yes, yes. Remember, guys. Philippines is a country full of life, full of resources, full of happy people. But the thing is that stopping Philippines from blooming into a top country is poor people gets poorer, rich people gets richer.
It's
And until next time,
Mm.
see you guys. It's a real talk pod.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for listening. Bye. Whoop.
Bye.
Bye.